So, hello, Miss Claire. You are the owner of the Hive, and Hive being zero waste company in Malaysia, I thought might as well me and my friend Jongnei, who unfortunately can't be here right now, to ask you about how you started the Hive and how it has impacted people. So, could you just tell us more about the Hive and what does it do?
Hi, Shreya. Yes, I started the Hive in 2016. At the time, I moved to Malaysia end of 2015, sorry, from Hong Kong. I lived 10 years before in Hong Kong. And I started to live zero waste or trying to reduce my amount of waste, plus composting, and trying to live in what we call closed circuit back in 2010 in Hong Kong. And when I moved to Malaysia, I thought it would be interesting to do the same. And I obviously wanted to keep the same lifestyle. And, it's hard when you move to a new place, you have to rebuild your whole routine. And I found that I didn't have the tools here, but I had the space. So in Malaysia, you have a lot of space compared to Hong Kong. Like composting in Hong Kong is a bokashi box. I had 3 bokashi boxes in Hong Kong. I had space and everything. So I thought there was much more opportunity to live a zero waste lifestyle in KL because I live in KL. And I thought it would be interesting to share it with others. So I started the page Zero Waste Kuala Lumpur as well. So this I started in September, right when I arrived. And a lot of people were interested as well by the zero waste lifestyle. And I was like, ooh, it would be interesting to have a concept store where we can sell all the zero waste products, have workshops on zero waste living, on ethical gardening, on composting, because for me, all goes together. And we started to do that. And that's how the Hive started. Just pure, not knowing much, but knowing I wanted to do that and I would have other people coming, started small, very small.
Nice. So, what got you into zero waste?
Well, I think it's what's driving a lot of people now to live more sustainably. Well, for me, because I worked for 10 years. When I was in Hong Kong, I was working for car factories, and we were producing all the furnitures for all the very, very high-end store, high fashion store. And we were doing a lot of furnitures for the airport, so that those furnitures were made for only 3 to 6 months. And that really, really, really bugged me. So it's like the fast fashion of furniture, if you want. So you have the fast fashion,
Yeah.
all those kind of things. And the low cost of fashion, the low cost of furniture, and that was a low cost of furniture. Although we were doing very, very beautiful furnitures because it was for very high-end brands, but because it was only for collection, so it was a summer. So can you imagine you're doing this for the clothes, you're doing it as well for the furniture, for the display of all the makeup and all those kind of things. So that really, really, really upsetted me that we were making all those beautiful pieces that would be destroyed within 6 months. And I think that's what really triggered me. And be like, my only teeny way, I'm going to start living zero waste. But then when I did that in Hong Kong, I as well started the Facebook page. And the name is absolutely terrible. Hong Kong Green Home. But bear in mind, that was more than 10 years ago. Hong Kong Green Home. And I was sharing on that page all the things I was doing for myself, when I was traveling, when I was living at home. You live in your small apartment. How do you live zero waste in Hong Kong? It sounds like really, really tough. But I shared on that too. And people were very, very intrigued because I think it's human nature. We don't want to. We want the conveniency, but we don't want to pollute. But unfortunately, the conveniency sort of takes over the pollution. But at the end of the day, I think humans know we have to stay on this planet and we have to preserve it. So a lot of people were like me and wanted to consume better and have a very low impact lifestyle, or as much as possible having a low impact lifestyle. So that's how it started. And now in Hong Kong, you have plenty of zero waste, or the movement is much bigger as well. So things are changing, but unfortunately not changing fast enough. But awareness is definitely there, and a lot of people are really vocal that in the fact that we do need to change the way we consume. We can consume better, and we can consume better indeed. Yeah.
So, is living a zero waste life hard? And if yes, how did you deal with it?
It's not hard if you take it super slow, baby steps. It's like learning a new language, and you're going to fall in love with it anyway. Your life will become more easy, more convenient. I mean, people think that living zero waste is actually very difficult. Well, it's actually the opposite, because you have much less things in your house, because your maybe the furniture are second hand, the clothes are second hand, this is second hand. You don't care so much, you know what I mean? Like, it's things are not so important anymore. I mean, I like my good things, and but you have your good pieces, and then you just because it's second hand, you didn't spend a lot of money on them as well. So I can't quite explain, but things do not matter so much, and you don't need much anymore. So even for birthday party, let's say, because I have 3 kids, I throw a birthday party, I don't have to stress. Everything is already in the house. All the decorations are reused. It's all those fabric decoration we've been reusing for the past 10 years. And everything, nothing is disposable, everything is reusable, for the plates, the cutlery, the glasses. Since they're very tiny kids, everything is breakable, but nothing broke in our house, or if it does, it's really by accident. So we don't sweat small things anymore.
So, how does your company help people who want to go to zero waste?
So when we started the company, so more than back in 2016, we started with very few products, the basic, like food-wise were the staples. They were all package-free, because obviously what we're pushing is zero waste, but as well wellness. Like if you eat zero waste, normally, how processed food is extremely packaged as well, often. So
Yeah.
here we're pushing as well, just whole wheat, whole. So you have oat, you have quinoa, you have all the dried nuts, all the dried fruits. So we started with those products which I needed, because this is part of my daily diet. Because in my house now, it's very important for us to be flexitarian. So we're trying to remove as much as possible dairy and animal-based product. So we try to get our proteins from plants, nuts, lentils, chickpeas, all these kind of things. So it's very important. See, actually, zero waste is not just to me. It's sustainability on its own. Trying to, we all know now that animal farming is number one, polluter on the planet Earth. So we're trying to start with that. It's a combo of many things. We're doing less meat consumption, less dairy consumption, less plastic consumption, trying to get products that are made locally. Obviously, when you live in a tropical country, a lot of blessings, but at the same time, you can't grow. So fresh food is abundant, but dry food is not as abundant. Like, you can't have all the cereals, you can't have all the nuts, but you can have abundance of vegetables, fresh vegetables and fresh fruit. So it's a lot of things, but we still need to import, yes, all the wheat, or most of the rice, unfortunately, is not from Malaysia, it's from Thailand. So things like that. But then we supply rice package free, we supply all this, and this is all organic, of course. So we started very small with staple products: bamboo toothbrush for the bathroom, dental floss that is refillable for the bathroom, menstrual cup for female, washable sanitary pads. Now we have the period underwear that are washable, that are amazing. And then now we get very sophisticated. Now you have a refill toothpaste, so refill caps of toothpaste. So you can just get the tab, it's a pill, and you just buy the refill. So now it gets like really cool, super, I don't know, I love those things, cool stuff. And for the kitchen, it's the same. You have now you have the beeswax wrapping for products. You have the silicone pouch where you just put all your things instead of Ziploc disposable plastic bags. Plenty of those staples for the kitchen that makes your kitchen plastic free. And healthier, because we will sell you the food mainly organic, obviously plastic free, and it's 100%, one product in it. It's like there is no mix or blend of anything. You can just do it at home if you want to blend things, but there is no processed food, which is very important to me. So this is how it started. I mean, I encourage everybody to go to any zero waste store, not just the Hive, of course, and just play with the product, have fun, try one at a time, don't get overwhelmed. You go to the coffee shop, you bring your reusable cup, those kind of simple things. Obviously, always have your water bottle with you to refill anywhere you can. Simple steps like that. I mean, they really go a long way. And then you will see waste everywhere once you start this journey. And then you're like, oh, let me try to cut down on this waste as well. If you're someone who loves takeout, and at lunchtime you go and take out, now you might bring your reusable takeout box, those kind of things. So it has an impact, and mainly people see you do it and then they're thinking about doing the same. You inspire others. So everything you do, people see you, and so it matters. It's very important. The world right now is very complicated. We have a very severe pandemic that has been going on for 2 years. We're having a really horrific war, but the number one threat is still the climate change threat. So to me, maybe not to some people, of course, but to me, it's still the biggest threat to humanity, because that's the whole entire planet, and we have to do something about it. It has to be immediate. We need to change the way we consume now. So the Hive is a fun way to start, of course, but you have plenty of other little stores, I'm sure, in your neighborhood who can help you to do that step. And again, it's not just the Hive, it is composting at home, it is eating less dairy product and less meat product, of course, starting with the meat first, and beef is the number one culprit here. Eating less beef is very important. And this is all those little steps that really do impact. Having clothes swapping at school or with your friends, those are always super fun. You make a big party. Trying to consume smarter and better,
So, final question, how can we as students move towards a more zero waste lifestyle?
I think for students, it should be fun. I understand you still live at home and your parents are the one making the decisions. This I do understand. But if you live at home, you can start the composting program, because often students in KL have quite a bit of space, so they can either use the balcony or the garden. So composting should be fun. At school, you should have actually a composting program. My understanding is you have one.
Yeah.
Yes, so you can even bring your composting maybe at school if your parents are like, no. You can organize a clothes swapping once every trimester with a bunch of friends, and you make it super fun with the music, you give points, you do TikTok, you do many things at the same time. You make like, who didn't buy anything in January? Who didn't buy anything in February, on fast fashion? And then you have this massive clothes swapping, or selling clothes if you don't want to swap. And you buy from each other, those kind of things. It's very fun. I mean, it's like fighting small battles a bit everywhere. Having space where, like, I just had to buy 3 bikes. It's a lot. 3 bikes for myself, and 2 of my kids. I bought everything secondhand, So having space where you can just platform for your community, because it's hard to go on the other side of the city, check the bike, So it's better if it's in your neighborhood, in your building. So in your case, in the school, having space at school where you have a platform where students can just trade stuff or sell things, sells rollerblades, sells backpack if it's still possible. Those kind of all those cool stuff that you need as a student. On top of it, they're expensive new. So it's a great way to save money at the same time. And just to reuse. The idea is really to reuse. We're consuming way too much.
So thank you so much for an insight into the brand and also how we, as students and also as the upcoming generation, can lead a more sustainable life. Since the Hive is a brand also available in Malaysia, I hope that other students can start making the changes to lead a more sustainable and a zero waste lifestyle. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so thankful to have children, I mean, young adults, coming to me and ask me how to move to a more sustainable lifestyle. Me to you guys, I probably look old, but it doesn't matter. You are the part of the change, and you will be the leader of the change. So I really appreciate you coming to me, Shreya, and you being a voice to the students.
So thank you. I'll just stop recording now.
Thank you so much, everybody. Take care. Be careful during this pandemic time. Keep safety measure. Appreciate the small things of life, friendship, parents, family, community, and nature, of course.